African national anthem. Thank you. I'll ask you to please remain standing as we kindly note a moment of silence for Rebecca Cheptegei, a Ugandan cross-country champion who tragically passed away after being murdered. Thank you. You may be seated. Distinguished and honorable guests, good morning. Good morning again. My name is Pinky Gilani and I am your MC for the Women's Conference, the Women Power and Change first ever conference. It is my extreme honor to be your MC this morning, and it's wonderful to look out into the audience to see some familiar faces, some new faces, but I have to say, as women, you look fabulous. Can we give yourselves a round of applause on how amazing you are looking this morning? Now, if you noted what I said, and as I spoke about Rebecca Cheptegei, and I used the words that she was murdered. She didn't just die, she was murdered. I think a lot of the things that we do, especially when we talk about things, when we see things in the press, is we need to start, especially as women, and the leaders in this room, is to start using the correct words to say exactly what happened. Am I right? We're going to have fantastic conversations here today. I can see that members of the deaf community are being represented. Maybe we can say hello to them by giving them a round of applause in their sign language. Welcome. So today the conference is an urgent and dynamic gathering. It is of women leaders from across Kenya. The National Conference seeks to galvanize women from all walks of life, community leaders, corporate executives, and political figures to harness and actualize their power in the political, socio-economic, and community spheres. This gathering here today will highlight strides made by women and chart the course for future leadership and influence, ensuring that women remain at the forefront of Kenya's growth and transformation. We have women in this room who have created waves in this country, who continue to pave the way for so many women to come, and we need to acknowledge them. I was having a conversation yesterday on my social media, and when I met Honorable Marua this morning, I said to her, this is what I was saying on my social media yesterday. How come How come not enough women are being dubbed as heroes in our country? How come we don't have roads named after the likes of Honorable Martha Karua or, Esther Pasaris or, of course, Ambassador Ina Mohammed? Why? These are the questions we should be asking. This is what we should be looking for. And we, as the people in this room, need to start acknowledging who our heroes are. We need to start acknowledging our own power, and we need to start putting it out there without any apologies. Am I right? So to kick us off, I'd like to please introduce our first speaker of the day. She is going to give us our opening remarks, and I'd like you to put your hands together for the Senior Project Manager for the Frederick Norman Foundation, Judy Kaberia.
Thank you, Pinky. It's once a good pleasure to work with you again after many years at Capital FM. And I'm very happy this morning again to see a lot of women that I've covered in the media, from a young journalist. I've seen you fight the war. I've seen you mentor others. And just looking at the room, I see we have intergenerational leadership of women. We see the passing over of the mantle from the older generation to the millennials, to the younger women. And this is the way to go. And just like Pinky Gelani has said, it's a high time we started asking those questions that we are not asking ourselves. And that is why at the Frederick Naumann Foundation, it's a political NGO in Berlin, and we're in over 60 countries across the world, and we stand for liberalism. And liberalism also talks about the involvement of women, the participation of women in active politics, not just as voters, but also as candidates, as women of leadership. If you look at what is happening in our country right now, we just had a Freedom Cafe to discuss the progress of the 2-thirds gender rule. And it's taken more than 10 years. Actually, we're counting 14 years. And up to now, we've not seen the light of the day. And then it shows we cannot sit comfortably. And that is why at FNF, we feel it's good for us to create the space, for us to support the women. And that's why we are partnering with NARC Kenya and other political parties here in the country to ensure that the role of women is not forgotten. This year, our theme on FNF is gender co-funding, meaning that a lot of efforts have to be employed to support women leadership. We don't want to really say so much here, but we are happy to pick up this conversation, continue working with the women, especially the younger women, to ensure that we bring our synergies all together from the older to the younger generation. And just the other day, my boss, Stefan, was asking, yes, it's good that we are happy the younger people are taking the mantle, the Gen Z protests, but are they ready for the leadership? Have we prepared them? Are they ready to become the president? Are they ready to become the deputy president? So it shows that we have a lot of work. And in this discussion, let's not forget the space of the woman. Right now, we are talking about femicide. We are talking about women being given double standards. You've seen where women are judged because of their marriage, because whether they have children or they don't have children. So it shows our work is not yet done. We at FNF are happy to continue partnering with you. And just before I take my back seat, please allow me to introduce our country director and the director of the Global Partnership Hub here in Nairobi, Stefan Short. So the Nairobi office was shut down during the Moi era about 20 years ago, and we've made a comeback, and we're in Kenya for about 2 years now. And the Nairobi office, we have 2 main pillars. One is the projects, and the other one is the Global Partnership Hub. So we look forward to engaging with you. I am sure after this forum, we'll have another opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judy, and thank you for supporting this event. We do need support like this in order to have gatherings like this where we can create change in spaces like this. So let me talk a little bit about this event and the vision of the Women's Conference. It is a powerful movement to redefine the role of women in Kenya's future. In coming together, the women here will inspire each other and ignite a nationwide wave of change to resonate across every corner of this. Regional conferences will follow to build on momentum of this event, ensuring that the vision of the women's leadership and empowerment is realized in every community, every home, and every heart across Africa. Kindly put your hands together for our next speaker of this morning, who's going to talk about inclusivity and women. Please welcome on stage now Honorable Catherine Omanyo.
Wow, standing in front of mighty warriors who have been through it all. I look at myself as a toddler in this. Good morning, everyone. My I'm Catherine Nahabi Omanyo, born and raised in Busia, the third poorest county in Kenya. But I refuse to be defined as poor. I am a fourth born of 10, a family that was conflicted to even have a woman come out of that kind of a family as a leader is a story of another day. I refuse to sleep every day over things that can oppress women or deny them a chance to ever show who they are. Today I'm a member of parliament, but I know that it is important to share how my journey to that parliament has been possible, because it was all impossible. It began when I was 14 and I lost my dad. When we talk of women being part of the solution, I saw it in my mother, but she had nothing or no one to hold her to come out strongly, to try and say and mean or do any progress that anyone at that time would understand what she was trying to say. So in her silence, I started speaking. They buried my dad. And naturally, in our African situation, when somebody has lost a husband, let them mourn, let them grieve, let them heal. For my mother, there was nothing like that. She was chased out of her matrimonial property. She was snatched the title deeds. And she was called headstrong for trying to say, let me mark my square, let me mark my boundaries, let me understand what I want to move on from here. So off we went, but the question is where? If you are a burden yourself and you have others with you, how many friends can take you in? How many relatives can take you in? We ended up in the street. I hate talking about this. I have to say it. We sit every day and clap for so many women here. I have looked at Martha Karua, Her Excellency. There are scars that run deep in most of us. They are not seen. And these scars, it is time to show them through writing, through sharing our stories, before anyone calls you a prostitute or a lowlife. or a wannabe, whatever they want to call you, shady, before they open their mouths, they have to know that for women to reach where they have reached, most of them designed their destination. I designed where I wanted to be, because looking at my mom, there was no hope. What you are even doing there, just start that faith step. I started going into funerals of people I do not know and asking to speak. And they would ask me, what do you want to say? Sometimes I didn't have, but I just wanted to say that my mom is suffering. I wanted to talk for a fellow woman. That time, it was my mother. Shocked today when she sees me on TV. She says, why did I even lack sleep? If I knew that I would come out on the other side, a winner. I do not know what you design thought Catherine has. But if they were to open up what Catherine was going through, they would never want to discriminate anyone. I look at every woman, tall, short, brown, black, whether Chinese, British, African. A woman is a woman. Places for another, a headstrong woman, a woman who did not listen. Listening me, I went and sat with them to listen, understand where their tone is coming from. When you want to include every woman in this, those kind of discriminations, those kind of descriptions, the kind of names that women are given, to me, it is inconsequential even to start comprehending. And with all these groups that some of us say we don't belong, we can't be called we, I belong to all those groups. Because it was just a second away for me to be any of those. 2013, I went back. Of course, I was a nobody again, a social climber. And I came in shockingly second with so many votes. God was talking. Like I've said, I designed where I was headed to. And when you design where you are headed to, you do not have a choreographer, you don't have a photographer, you can't afford even a good shoe or a proper way of showing the people that you can. Because where I come from, if you arrive, I like to announce myself. But they announced a wrong winner. And I said, I am alive, I will fight again. Came back surging in 2017. I encouraged so many other younger women. Most of them also tried, they gave up, they wanted to be MCS, no money, all these names. They said, this is murky. I would not love my life in public again. And I said, I'm already in public. The devil pushed me out of our home. I was already out. I do not know what to hide anymore. I will go back. 2017, back attempt. That time it was ODM and nothing else. I hope you will reach the place I could have reached. It mattered. Dad chose me. Even I knew myself that I was so beautiful. A fool would not try to get me. She wasn't talking about her Bible of making the world nothing.